Obviously, you should download and install Vinci Resolve, and this is what you would be greeted with, where it shows all of your projects. If this is your first time opening the software, you can just click on this box right here that leads you to your new project. Now, the first thing that you see when you open it up is 7 tabs on the bottom of the software. The one thing that I would recommend for most people who are starting out is you can ignore half of these tabs. You only need to use the Edit tab, the Fusion tab, and the Deliver tab. Now, the software looks a bit empty, and that's because we didn't add anything into it yet. So let's start by adding some clips. Now, there are multiple ways of adding clips into DaVinci Resolve. You can drag and drop the clips directly into the timeline, so this part here, or you can go into this place that says no clips in media pool if you don't have anything here yet. You can right click on it, then you can import some media. Now, once you have chosen your clips to be imported into DaVinci, this box would pop up. You can just press change. It doesn't really matter. Once you have your clip ready, it would appear here. This is where your clips would be stored. So you can take this clip and you can add it directly in. Now, once you've added your clip into the timeline, you can start looking it through and seeing what moments that you would like to keep. Now, for this part, I want to keep the part where she says, I'm distracting her.
No, sometimes it's unfair. I'm distracting her?
So what I would do is take this orange line, which is the playhead, drag it to the part where I want to cut it. Small tip for editing clips, you can put your mouse in the audio area on the bottom half of the timeline and press shift and scroll wheel to increase the size of the clip so you can see it better. Usually, whenever you would cut a clip, you would go into the blade tool that is right here. You press it, then you press on the video clip and the audio clip, but this is very slow. You're doing 3 actions for one thing. So what I would do is, instead of using the blade tool, we change our keybind to something that is more convenient for you to press by going into the top left, pressing on DaVinci Resolve, then keyboard customization. Now, the specific command that I would like to change is called split clip. So I would type in split clip at the search bar up here, then this would show up. As you can see, I've already changed my keybind to the letter A. So I would press the split clip function right here, and then what I would do is, since I don't need this part, I can drag on an empty part of the timeline to highlight and select both the video and the audio, and from here I would like to delete it. Now, there are 2 ways to delete, either by just cutting it and then dragging your clips over to fill in the space, or a faster way to do it is by highlighting the clips. I would then press the ribbon delete button, which not only removes the clip, but also removes the blank space as well. So, for this part, she says,
I'm distracting her? Wait, really? You know, am I distracting you? No.
There are 2 ways to add it. First thing is you gotta go into your toolbox on the left side. If it's not already dropped down, you can press this area here to make the drop down list appear. Press on titles, and as you can see here, there are 2 versions, text and text plus. Text plus has more options to customize your text, and that's what I use normally. So I would just use text plus, but the normal text is perfectly fine. So the way to add it in is to take this, drag it directly onto the timeline. Now, the first thing is you should obviously trim your text to fit within the audio, so let's do that. For the first part, you can press on the text and then press on your split clip button to split only the text plus layer. And for this, now you can look on the right side on the inspector tab on the top right here. If it's not already open, you can press it and it would appear these properties. Obviously, we would like to change text, and I would like to change into a nice looking font. Then, if I want to change how it looks, like maybe add an outline, a drop shadow, you go into the shading tab. These tabs are how you can edit your text in different layers. Now, for example, if I wanted to make this text look thicker without having to find a bold version of the font, I can go into layer 2, I press enabled, and I can add an outline. I would change the outline to the white color by just dragging the color picker down here, and you can see it's slightly thicker now. If you wanted to make it even thicker, you can drag it on this slider. Then, for example, if I wanted to add a black outline, I would go to layer 4, because layer 3 is a drop shadow. Go into layer 4, press enable do the exact same thing, but as you can see, the outline is wrong. I don't want it to be like this. I want it to outline the actual text and not a box. So I would go into this appearance. I press it on the second layer. I change the outline color to black. But as you can see, you don't see it yet. That's because the white outline is thicker, so it's covering it. Now, if you want your text position to change around a bit, you can go into the settings tab. You can change this down a bit, make it at the bottom, make it slightly smaller. Now, from here, if you want to save this as a template to reuse it again without it having to remake it again, you could put it in a power bin. Now, what is a power bin? It's basically a folder within a software that you can access in basically any project that you open. Now, to put it into the power bin is you should have power bins that appear here. If you don't see it, you could press these three dots right here and have show power bins enabled. If you don't have anything, you can just press new bin to make a new folder, press subtitles, open the folder, and from this you can drag the text plus clip directly into here, and there you go. Now, once you have finished adding text and finishing up your clip, you can go into the Deliver tab. This is where you can export your clips. If you look on the top left here, DaVinci has a lot of options to export, but for YouTube videos specifically, you can press on this YouTube 1080p button. You can change the file name to whatever the name of the clip that you want. You can choose your location by pressing Browse, and then you can just keep these settings because these are good ones already. Then you can add it to render queue. It should appear here. Then you can press the render all button and you're done.